Today is the 22nd day of September in the year of 2014. I want to discuss the chance of a nuclear slash EMP threat to the United States from one of our enemies. I've talked to different people about it, and you gotta be careful who you talk to about it because people think you're crazy. You know, um, they might think you're, some crazy prepper or something like that. Um, I don't think it's really that crazy. Um, but there are people that they deny that it's possible, deny that it can happen. They believe that the government will protect us, um, things like that. So I'm going to make this video because I want to show people what I've seen, what I've heard, what I've come across in the news, and I think that they should know a little bit about it. They should kind of be prepared for things because you never know. You know, some people are like, well, if it's a nuclear bomb, I'm going to die anyway. Well, not necessarily. So, if you have a chance to live, why not live? If you're going to live through it, why not be prepared to live through it? It doesn't really necessarily mean death, or anything like that. So, this first article, I'm going to show you a series of news articles. I'll post links to them so you can go and read them on your own if you want. And by any means, don't just take my word for it. I always tell people, I'm I don't go out and just let me make up this news story or let me go do this do it. It's just all things that are out there. They're out there in the news. You can find them. Just go. All you got to do is look, and you'll find them. So this first article, okay, could the U.S. face a cruise missile threat from the Gulf of Mexico? Okay. Some people will say, oh, no. Well, you never know. You should look at it and see, hey, is that possible? You never know. So this is from this year, March 21st, 2014. Okay. So this basically says, there's no, we don't have a system in the Gulf of Mexico for intercepting missiles. Okay. And it says here 2013 military exercise systems such as Patriot interceptors, I don't know how to pronounce that word, Aegis, maybe, warships, and combat aircraft against potential cruise missile or short-range ballistic missiles from the Gulf. The drill highlighted a particular vulnerability to cruise missiles lobbed from that region. U.S. Northern Command Head General Charles Jacoby indicated in congressional testimony. Okay. So depending on some significant challenges, let's see, exploring some opportunities to use existing systems more effectively to do that. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go down. It says cruise missiles can be particularly challenging to defend against, as they can be more difficult than an aircraft to detect on radar and sometimes tricky to shoot down. Let's see here. 2013 U.S. military intelligence report forecasted cruise missiles would spread into more hands over the coming decade. Cruise missiles can fly at low altitudes to stay below enemy radar, in some cases to hide behind terrain features. Okay. So, and I'll get to this in a minute. I have an article about that. But right here, if you notice, Iran last month announced it intended to deploy warships to the U.S. maritime border, prompting heightened discussion of the Middle Eastern nation's growing military capabilities. At last week's hearing, Jacoby also spoke to Moscow's cruise missile capabilities. Okay, so and you go further here. This is all stuff you want to pay attention to. Okay, tracking for a number of years, Russia's continued investment in improved cruise missile technology. Okay, the Kremlin has armed its bomber aircraft with cruise missiles for decades. They also are capable of introducing cruise missiles into the theater from submarines. Okay, let's see here. Mandates U.S. ballistic missiles that could be launched from vessels on the seas around the world, the United States, including the Gulf of Mexico. So this says to me, that's the end there. There's comments there at the bottom from some people that you can read. But so this says to me, we don't really have a very much, a great ability to defend ourselves from cruise missiles coming from the Gulf, which is, to me, a huge concern. That would be like one of the top priorities. Hey, we need something down there to protect ourselves. Okay, so let's go from that. All right, let's go here. Here we'll go. Right here. Okay. Load this article. Take its sweet time. Okay. Right here. Now this is a little bit older. This is from 2 years ago. August 14, 2012. Russian attack submarine sailed in Gulf of Mexico undetected for weeks. Okay. Russian nuclear-powered attack submarine armed with long-range cruise missiles. Now, what did the other article you just saw just talked about that? Okay, operated undetected. Okay, notice undetected in the Gulf of Mexico for several weeks. Its travel in strategic U.S. waters was only confirmed after it left the region. Okay. Let me highlight this here. Okay, after it left. So they didn't even know until after it was gone. Okay, it's only the second time since 2009 a Russian attack submarine has been patrolled so close to U.S. shores. The stealth underwater incursion in the Gulf took place at the same time a Russian strategic bombers made incursion into restricted U.S. airspace near Alaska and California in June and July. Okay, which is funny that that's mentioned because I have another article that discusses that very same thing. Okay, how it's a growing military service by Moscow. The submarine patrol also exposed what U.S. officials said were deficiencies in U.S. anti-submarine warfare capabilities, forces that are facing cuts under the Obama administration's plan to reduce defense spending by $480 billion over the next 10 years. I know you can go here, you can read these articles, but I don't know. More people need to hear about this kind of stuff. More people need, you need to raise hell about this kind of stuff because this is just wide open. What's, they found out about it after. When would they find out about a missile getting launched? When it hit us. I mean, this is crazy. So, let's see. The Navy's in charge of protecting submarines, especially those that sail near U.S. nuclear missile submarines, and uses undersea sensors and satellites to locate them and track them. Well, somebody wasn't doing their job. Oh yeah, right here. The fact that the Aquila or Ocula, I don't know how you pronounce that, was not detected in the Gulf is cause for concern. Well, hell yeah, I'd say so. Cause for big concern. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. All right, so now if you go down here, I'll show you again. Okay, where is it? Okay, right here. Stealth underwater incursion in the Gulf took place at the same time. Russian strategic bombers made incursions in restricted U.S. airspace near Alaska and California in June and July. Now this is 2012. Okay. Now, let me go to this article. Boom. New York Post. This is September 20th, 2014. Okay? U.S. and Canada intercept 8 Russian aircraft. Okay? 2 F-22 fighters intercepted 6 Russian military airplanes near the western coast of Alaska. Okay? NORAD said U.S. jets intercepted planes about 55 nautical miles from the Alaskan coast at 7 p.m. Pacific time Wednesday. That would be last Wednesday. Russian planes were identified as 2 IL-78 refueling tankers, 2 MiG-31 fighter jets, and 2 Bear long-range bombers. They leave south and returned to their base in Russia after the U.S. were scrambled. Okay, so this is a few hours later. All right, the first instance was 7 p.m. Pacific time Wednesday. Okay, 1:30 a.m. Okay, this is Canada. 2 Canadian CF-18 fighter jets intercepted 2 of the long-range bombers about 40 nautical miles off the Canadian coastline, the Beaufort Sea. Now, how many times has this happened now? In both cases, Russian planes entered the air defense identification zone. So they didn't enter. Doesn't sound like they entered U.S. or Canadian airspace. So let's see. Fighter jets are scaled basically let those aircraft know that we see them. In cases of a threat, let them know that we're there to protect our sovereign airspace. So it sounds like they did not enter our airspace, but they were coming. Okay, who knows? They could have been up to no good. They could have well, yeah, they're obviously up to no good, but maybe it's just a test run or whatever. Maybe if they went undetected, they might have tried something. Who knows? Let's see here. The past 5 years, jets under NORAD's command have intercepted more than 50 Russian bombers approaching North American airspace. So, to me, this sounds like the threat. This threat of at least from Russia, dropping a nuclear bomb or some kind of EMP attack or something like that. It could happen. It could definitely happen. I mean, obviously, off the coast of Alaska, they're doing their job. They get detected pretty easily. But if it's something that comes from the Gulf of Mexico, comes from down there, who knows? Who knows if they'll get caught or not? Okay, and I mentioned that because let's go over here. Oh, this story here, I wanted to show you this too. Okay, this article is from the New York Post. Okay, by the Associated Press. All right, but if you go to Google and you just type it in, I mean, there's endless articles here, about this. You could go look it up, go read about it. Okay, and any of this stuff, just go out there and look. It's out there. I'm not making it up. So, Iranian warships is USA Today. Okay, this is earlier this year. This is February 11th. Okay, Iranian vessels sail for U.S. coast to protest U.S. military presence in the Persian Gulf. Okay, Iranian warships head the U.S. coast pose little danger to the United States. Could be a dry run for the future. Okay, mission shows the danger Iran would pose if it possessed nuclear weapons. Shows they could put a weapon on a boat or freighter, and if Iran has ballistic missiles, it could put it anywhere on the U.S. coast. Let's see here. Alright, so they have 2 ships. One's a military cargo ship. Since visited China in the past and suspected of delivering Iranian armed shipments to Sudan on multiple visits. Let's see. While it poses no tactical threat to the U.S., Iran will likely use it to advance its relationship with its ally Venezuela. It shows the Iranians have worldwide ambitions and capabilities. Let's see. Commander of Iran's Northern Navy fleet said Iran sent a fleet to the Atlantic Ocean to approach U.S. maritime borders for the first time. All right. Now, at the same time, okay, let's go back here. Let's see. They say this: while it poses no tactical threat to the United States. Okay. And where else? Yeah, let's see right here. Pose little danger to the United States. Okay. But down here, the U.S. maritime border is 14 miles from land. Okay. Now, to me, an Iranian ship coming 14 miles from land, that is, to me, that's that's kind of a threat. I would be a little concerned over that. But apparently they're not. Rand says nuclear program is peaceful aims, blah blah blah. Yep, you know that. So you could reach you can come and read down through here. Um, I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. Um, but here they they say it again. Okay. Now this is the ships crossing the Atlantic are an Iranian destroyer the size of a small American frigate equipped with anti-ship cruise missiles and logistics ship. And it says here to make it to the North Atlantic, and that's a big if. They've never been that far. The threat they pose is minimal. They are not really equipped to threaten land-based targets. This says, and the vessels would be highly vulnerable, especially U.S. naval aircraft. They said, essentially, be at the bottom of the ocean in fairly short order if they assumed a threatening posture. Well, who knows? It's just a ship. They don't know what's on the ship. The ship's going to come within 14 miles. Could come within 14 miles of land. They don't know. Again, not pose much of a threat now, but their mission shows the Islamic Republic is building up its capabilities for the future. Let's see here. They're showing they can sail Iran across the Atlantic Ocean and travel right up to our coast. They're building up capabilities. That's what training missions do. Yeah, that's what training missions do. That's that's their whole ideal. But I think it's crazy for them to say, oh, there's no threat. It only poses a little threat. That's pretty stupid. All right, so that's USA Today. Over here, Fox News. Same thing. Talks about the same thing. February 8th. Okay. So basically, it goes through the same thing. This fleet is approaching maritime borders for the first time. Iran has regularly deployed warships to the Gulf of Aden off the eastern coast of Africa to fight piracy and protect commercial ships. Look at this, 2012. Okay, so it's 2 years ago. This is February 2014. So 2 years ago they said they were going to do it. Iran said it aims to put warships in international waters off the U.S. coast within the next few years and extend its reach as far as Antarctica. Well, there you go. 2012 they said it. 2014 they're doing it, and apparently the military is not concerned. Again, I don't understand that. So this is the last final article. Okay, this is from the Blaze. This is basically, this article is kind of like it talks about some different things. This is slouching towards a nuclear blackout. You can't read the whole thing, which kind of pisses me off. It goes into basically they want you to subscribe to the Blaze magazine in order to read the whole thing, which I will not do. But you can read through it. Again, all the links I'll include at the end somehow. So it starts right out potential destruction of the United States, and this is just recent, September 12th, 2014. The potential destruction of the United States by an EMP attack is more than a theory. Most lethal enemies, Iran, North Korea, China, and Russia, have the means and quite possibly the desire to knock out our entire power grid. We've been conducting practice runs to test our vulnerabilities, and they have. I just showed you articles. Iran has, and Russia has. I'll show you more in a minute with this article. I would tell you about an instance where North Korea has. China, I don't know. I don't think I've seen anything. I'm sure they have. They said it, but I don't think I've personally seen anything from China. What did I do there? I don't want to do that. Okay. So right here, this like I said, this pisses me off. Below is an excerpt from the 2014 cover story, Slouching toward a nuclear blackout. The full story is available only in the newest issue of the Blaze magazine. If you sign up today, blah blah blah. Yeah, I know it's a ploy that gets you to buy the magazine, but I'm not going to do that. So in here, it talks about this is a new consortium composed of America's most maniacal I don't know, the most powerful enemies. Iran, North Korea, Russia, and China are in the final stages of developing an electromagnetic pulse weapon and a clandestine delivery system capable of destroying the United States in the blink of an eye. Moreover, there is unmistakable evidence that they have already conducted a drive of the attack, which they have. Which again, I just showed you. Russia has, and Iran has. Okay. So, early May, Dr. Peter Vincent Pry, member of the Congressional EMP Commission, the executive director of the Task Force on National Homeland Security, issued some dire warnings in his testimony before Congress. Pry, a former member of the CIA, warned of the dangers of an EMP. Now this you should pay attention to. Okay, this is very important stuff. Okay, warned of the dangers of an EMP from a single nuclear weapon detonated between 25 and 300 miles over the lower 48 states. He said that it would act like 10,000 lightning bolts and permanently knock out the nation's entire electrical grid. A scenario the Heritage Foundation has been talking about for years. Airplanes would fall from the sky, most cars would be inoperable, water, sewer, and electrical devices would fail simultaneously. Systems of banking, energy, transportation, food production, water, emergency services, and even cyberspace would collapse. 9 out of 10 Americans would die due to starvation, disease, and societal collapse. Okay, basically, anything electronic would be done, toasted, and we would basically be put back to, early civilization, like, the Wild West, the 1800s, which would be difficult. I don't think 9 out of 10 Americans would die. I don't believe. Yes, a lot of people would die. Starvation. I mean, your people that are, I would say out of touch with the real world. The people that they only eat fast food every day. They don't cook. They don't know how to cook or whatever. They eat, sleep, and breathe their phones and the technology. I mean, yeah, there are people, and I know a lot of people that are, they're on the computer a lot, they're on the phone a lot, they watch a lot of TV, da 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 da. But they know how to live, they know how to do things. Okay, but there are people out there. I'm sure everybody knows at least a few. They don't have a clue. They're so wrapped up in, Facebook and Twitter and social media and this and that and keeping up with the Kardashians and all these BS stupid shows and whatever. Okay, they got their heads wrapped so tight around that crap that they don't pay attention to what's going on, or they don't have a clue. For those people, that kind of life is going to be difficult. But you can live through a situation like that if you're prepared, if you have some preparation and you have some knowledge. You can be completely fine in a situation like that. So it goes on to say, it says, both Russia and China already have advanced EMP weapons, close trade partnerships, and more importantly, interlocking alliances with rabid rogue states of North Korea and Iran. All right, so this is all like important stuff, and I encourage you, don't just take my word for it. Don't just watch this video and and just be okay with it. I want you to go back and read each thing individually, go through, take your time, and read it, educate yourself, and what I try to do is just say, hey, just highlight this. You go look at this. This is something you should look at. This is something you should read. This is something you should know, because not everybody sees this stuff. Not everybody hears about this stuff, and I don't know why. Because the media is not going to tell you, all about this. They'd rather tell you, right now it's the NFL scandal. They'd rather tell you all about the players in the NFL that are breaking the law. You know. Let's see here. China is not only a patron of North Korea; it's also an agent of Pyongyang's, how do you pronounce that, nuclear weapons sales and proliferation. June 20th, Wall Street Journal, Foundation for Defense of Democracy's Claudia Rosette reported in April the U.S. government offered a $5 million reward for helping apprehending a Chinese national, Li Fangwei, accusing him of running a sanctions-violating international procurement network out of China that has sold Iran both North Korean-made missile and nuclear-related materials. The U.S. has asked China to shut down this network since at least 2006 to no avail. So, right there, what kind of friend is China being? Okay, they're not. Okay, so then in August, China confirmed the existence of its newest missile, the Dongfang 41, capable of delivering nuclear warheads to the United States. Okay, and some people are like, well, we're kind of allies with China. Why would they do that? Well, we're not really. I mean, what do they really, do for us? I don't know. Never really got into that kind of thing. But I mean, we help them. We're indebted to them big time. I know they've bought a lot of our debt. In fact, they own a lot of real estate over here. We sell tons of their crap. Just look at Walmart's. It's like they took a shipping container from China and just dumped it in there. It's all Chinese stuff. You go there, I bet you don't see, made in USA over there. So, it just tells you how the relationship is. So, this is a revelation was made just days after an independent blue ribbon panel appointed by the Pentagon and Congress produced a bombshell report announcing President Obama's strategy for downsizing the American military. I don't want to read this whole thing, but there are a lot of there's some things that I want to talk about. Let's see. Tehran, Pyongyang have their own connections about Moscow, Beijing, sugar daddies, and direct involvement. Let's see. Iranian nuclear scientists have attended North Korea's nuclear weapon tests. North Korea nuclear scientists are frequent visitors to nuclear facilities in Iran. So they're buddy. That's no surprise, because they're both big time enemies of ours. They don't like us. So, you get two mutual enemies. Obviously, they're going to team up and they're going to gang up against you. So, let's see. In an interview with Dr. Peter Fry conducted for this story, he didn't pull any punches about the threat and our vulnerability. When asked about reports that the United States can't detect an incoming EMP attack and probably wouldn't be able to trace its source, Fry was clear about the seriousness of such a threat. So here we go. This is another crucial, important part. For those of us on the Congressional EMP Commission, our nightmare scenario is a nuclear-armed Scud missile launched from an unmarked freighter near our shores. because it wouldn't give us enough time to detect it with missile defenses, he said. It could come from a direction where we are completely blind, like the Gulf of Mexico. Boom. What was the very first article I showed you? You know, can we defend ourselves from a cruise missile threat from the Gulf of Mexico? Okay. What was the other one that I showed you? Okay. Iranian warships. Okay. Now, yeah, they could probably tell us if it's an Iranian ship, you know, if it's a military ship. But what if it's a ship? What if it's an unmarked freighter? They don't know. I mean, how they gonna know? All right, so let's go back. Okay, and let's see. Come from a direction of completely blind, like from Mexico, and we wouldn't know which nation launched it because it's coming off an anonymous freighter, and because it detonates high in the atmosphere. Okay, like I said earlier, 25 to 300 miles above the ground. Okay, there's no bomb debris that you could do forensic analysis the way you would do in a city with glass, steel, concrete debris to determine where the bomb originated. Essentially, there are no fingerprints. Okay, many Americans have no idea that North Korea has actually been making preparations for a future attack on the United States. Probably added, including experimenting with that same scenario I just described to see what it could get away with. Okay, and here we go. Last July. Okay, so this is 2 months ago. Okay, there's a tramp freighter they sent into the Gulf of Mexico. So probably on board were 2 SA-2 nuclear-capable missiles on their launchers. They weren't equipped with nuclear warheads, but they were the exact kind of missile you would need to do a short-range, high-altitude EMP attack to take out the U.S. grid. So obviously, right there, that indicates there's a test run. Okay, and the only reason we found out about it is because once they saw that it could bring the missiles in close to the U.S. off our southern coast, they decided to see if they could get them through the Panama Canal, and that's where we caught them. We found the 2 launchers under a few thousand bags of sugar. So, right there. So they've tried. I mean, it's been tried multiple times. I mean, how many times are we gonna let this almost happen before it does happen? Okay. That was not the only time North Korea and its allies have tested their capabilities to attack America with an EMP weapon. Okay, there you go. This says it all right here. The enemy of my enemy is still my enemy. 2009, upon its release, Camp Buka, whatever, Iraq. I'm not even going to try pronouncing that. Abu, whatever, Baghdadi or whatever. Now the Sultan of the New Islamic State, which is IS or IL or whatever the hell they changed whatever their name is today. I'll see you guys in New York City. Let's see here. Probably just talks about ISIS, yeah, and then it's right there. Like I said, they want you to subscribe to the magazine, which I would, but I'm sure it's a good magazine, but I really want I would only care about this one article, and I don't want to subscribe to the whole thing, and just for this one article. If there was a way I could buy just this month's issue, then I would. Yeah. So there you go. I don't know how much more proof people need. Like I said, go through. I'll post the links. You can look all this stuff up. Go through, read everything. Or if you don't want to follow the links that I post, go look it up. Whatever your search engine is that you like or whatever, just go look it up. It's all out there. Just read. Just read through. and stuff, and it's it's out there. It can happen. There's here's the proof. So thanks for watching.